This is the Retrospec Abbot Rev commuter electric bike. In this review, first I'll walk you through all the components, and something a little bit odd on this bike is that it has these plugs here, and these are like bar end plugs, similar to what you'd find on your handlebars. Then we'll get into some first person riding footage. We'll see how the bike performs. Putting in more power, reading 28.5.6 on the display. And finally, some third person riding footage where I'll give you some pros and cons of this electric bike. It is a new brand to me after all, but first, let's take a closer look. While Retrospec is a new brand to me and likely to you as well, they're not new to the market. They've been in business since 2009, though they've been selling outdoor gear generally, not just electric bikes. But what intrigued me about this electric bike is it's sub $2,000. It offers a torque sensor. It also offers class 3 speeds. And the company has hundreds of dealers in the United States. I'm not sure how many stock the e-bikes, but that is a differentiator. So first, pricing, $17.99 is the current pricing, though you can find up-to-date pricing down in the description. And you also can support the channel for free if you decide to pick up this e-bike or any other that we've featured on the channel. Tariffs are here and e-bike prices are fluctuating quite a bit, so always be sure to check out the description for most up-to-date pricing. Now, this bike does come in a high step or a step through. If you know the channel, I always recommend the step throughs. There's usually no downsides. It just makes the bike easier to hop on, and a bike that's easier to hop on is one that you're likely to ride more. The step through is offered in this really nice green as well as oat. But more important than that, it's offered in two different sizes, size small at 16 inches and medium, that's what you're looking at here, at 17.5 inches. And as a 6 foot tall rider, I can still get full leg extension, and not every brand offers different sizes, so it's nice to see. With that out of the way, let's get into all the components. Stopping power is provided by Tektro hydraulic disc brakes paired with 180mm rotors, so common on electric bikes in this price range. For tires, we have 27.5 inch by 2.4 inches wide tires. These are a street tread and they are unbranded. The front wheel attaches with a through axle as opposed to a quick release, which makes sure your front wheel is attached in the proper position and also offers more strength than quick releases. There's full coverage plastic fenders in the front as well as the rear. There's a zoom suspension fork, 65mm of travel. There is a preload adjustment on the left and a lockout on the right. This is what you can expect out of the front suspension. The front light runs off the main battery, and the light in the rear is brake actuated. We have one optional accessory on this bike. This is the Tote Plus e-bike basket. It mounts to the 4 mounting points on the head tube. It's a smaller front basket, but it is taller. Just be mindful that there's holes in here, so you might want to find a bag that will fit in here. And it has this nice wood decking. They did some cable wrapping up here, and they are internal through the frame. The handlebars have a slight swoop to them. Moving to the cockpit, we have locking grips, a left-hand thumb throttle, Tektro hydraulic disc brakes with motor cutoffs, a bell on the right, Shimano's 8-speed trigger shifter, that's what I prefer on some of these more budget e-bikes, and a center-mounted LCD display. Control pad on the left. On the display, we have pedal assist at the top, 0 all the way up to 6. Battery capacity on the left side, wattage meter on the right, speed front and center, odometer in the bottom. Hitting the M button will cycle through additional information over to average speed, max speed, and back to current speed. Moving on to the battery, it is integrated into the frame and enters from the bottom. I'll turn the key here to the right. It'll click and come out. The battery is a 48 volt, 15 amp hour battery, and the battery is UL 2271 certified. The entire bike's electronics are UL 2849. There's a battery indicator on the end. And if you're wondering, yes, it fits perfectly in our battery bag. Sold at shop.ebikeescape.com. It's a roll top bag, flame resistant and waterproof. Simply roll it up, clip it, and you also have a handle. I love using these when we're traveling. Just throw the battery in your vehicle without worry. To put the battery back, terminals first on the bottom, snap into place, and then turn the key to the left and you can remove. The bike comes with a 2-amp charger, which means about 7.5 hours to charge from empty. And you also get a little Retrospec multi-tool. You get plastic pedals, a fairly comfortable seat, and a rear mounted kickstand. And let's not forget the bottle cage bosses located on the down tube here. Perfect for mounting the best water bottle cage on the market, also offered at shop.ebikeescape.com. What makes it so special is it's completely adjustable to massive water bottles. What makes this commuter electric bike unique is this extra long rack. It has a 55-pound capacity and even has a Thule maxi window here in case you want to mount a child seat. And something a little bit odd on this bike is that it has these plugs here, and these are like bar end plugs, similar to what you'd find on your handlebars. So you could potentially mount some kind of accessories. They also have them on the basket as well. This rear hub motor is 500 watts engaged with a torque sensor. We'll see how that feels in the first person riding footage. Gearing is again 8 speeds, 13 to 34 teeth, and in the front a 46 tooth double-sided front chainring. There's a clear chainstay protector, and they're using Shimano Altus, which is super common at and around this price point. The battery can be charged off the bike or on by removing this rubber cover on the right side. So now that you know about all the specs, let's take it for a ride and see how it performs. Class 3 speeds on a 500 watt motor. Let's see how it does. Now I did go into the advanced settings and changed it from class 2 to class 3. The manual explains how to do that very easy. There's actually no speed limit setting. It just says C2 and you can set it to C3. Our first test will be throttle alone. That will cut off though at 20 miles per hour as a class 2 e-bike, and then we'll see how close we can get to class 3 up to 28 miles per hour. Just a note, in pedal assist level 0, you do have access to the throttle, and this does have a walk mode. You can hold pedal assist down, and you can turn the lights on by holding pedal assist up. Here we go, throttle only, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Got the GPS speed, because it's going to be difficult to read this color LCD display with the sun, 16, 17, 18, and there is 20 miles an hour according to the display. GPS reading 19. All right, let's go through the various pedal assist modes. We'll start in 1 and we're going to shift all the way down. And I'm going to talk to you about something that I haven't seen on a torque sensor electric bike, at least that I can remember. All right, so I'm going to start from a stop in pedal assist level 1, first gear, and very gentle takeoff. Just getting a little bit of motor power, going 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. I'm going to shift up into second, maybe a third gear. But here's the thing, as I got close to, say, 10 miles an hour, maybe 11, the motor power just completely cuts off, which means they're still using some speed limiting in the pedal assist levels. I most often see that on cadence sensors. So just know after 10, 11 miles an hour, you just get no power from the motor, at least in pedal assist level 1, but let's go into pedal assist level 2. And remember, this is a torque sensor, so the more power I put in, the more power I'm going to get from this 500 watt motor. I shifted up to 4th, let's go into 5th gear. That's compared to cadence sensors, where as long as my legs are spinning, no matter how much pressure I'm putting on, it's going to give me motor power, of course, depending on the pedal assist level. And actually in pedal assist level 2, just gently rotating my legs, going 14 miles an hour. And if I put in a little bit more power, yeah, it looks like the speed is cutting off there as well, but very comfortable to pedal and get some motor power at around 14 miles an hour. Let's go ahead into pedal assist level 3 and see where that gets us to. All right, feeling some more power there. Let's go up to 6th gear. And what I'm noticing about this torque sensor electric bike is it doesn't take too much effort to get power from the motor. That just kind of depends how a company decides to tune their electric bike. Some torque sensors, you really have to work for those higher speeds, and that's not really the case on this one. The display says 20, my GPS says 18, and very comfortably cruising at that speed. Let's put in a little bit more power. And I don't think I'm going to get too much past 20 miles an hour. Just getting a little bit of motor power. Let's go into pedal assist level 4. There we go, I can hear the motor. 500 watt motor only, but I can hear it. And we are going 23 according to the display, 21 on my GPS. I'm gonna shift up to 7th gear of 8. So comfortably cruising at 21. A little extra power, 22. So it's a torque sensor, but it gives you a little bit more of a cadence sensor experience. Let's go ahead and go into pedal assist level 5. 7th gear. It's got a decent amount of power, 20 miles an hour. Comfortably cruising, and I imagine if I give the bike a little bit extra power here, I'm gonna get a little higher. There's 21. There we go. Just a little extra power on my legs. And 27 according to the display. 25 on my GPS, 26. We shift up to 8th gear. We're not even in the highest pedal assist level yet. All right, 25, 26 miles an hour at pedal assist level 5. Let's go ahead and go into pedal assist level 6. Just going to gently spin my legs, not provide too much power, holding us at 23, 24. So yeah, display reads a little bit higher than the GPS. And then let's see if we can get to 28. Putting in more power, reading 28.5, 0.6 on the display. GPS still reading 26, 27. And I think that is going to be it. All right, we'll do a quick little brake test here. Ooh, locked up that rear tire a little bit. But these Tektro hydraulic disc brakes, no problem. They come on so many electric bikes. So that is how this bike performs on flat ground. But let's see how it does up our hill climb test. Welcome to the hill climb test. This is the hill that I test out all the electric bikes that I review on the channel. The GoPro makes it look so much smaller than it is, so I'll throw up these specs as well as a picture. We'll get up to 20 miles per hour and we'll see what the minimum speed is. I wanted to talk a little bit about the cadence close to that 28 miles per hour. Not quite ghost pedaling, but certainly a faster cadence. And I'm kind of curious, have you heard of Retrospec before? Let me know in the comment section. And I'd also be curious what other commuter electric bikes that you're considering. All right, hill is starting now. 16 miles an hour. 15. 14. You never know what you're going to get with these 500 watt motors, but so far so good. It's got to be peaking higher than that though. And 14 miles an hour was the minimum speed, and we're getting to higher speeds now. So very impressive for what is advertised as a 500 watt motor. Though this is an electric bike after all, and I'm super curious how this torque sensor feels climbing this hill. So go back down the hill and we'll do it again. All right, let's get started. Pedal assist level 1, first gear, and I can feel power from the motor. So it's definitely sensing that I'm pedaling, but still having to provide a decent amount of effort. And only going 7 miles an hour. Let's go into pedal assist level 2. I don't feel a significant difference there, even pushing harder on the pedals. 8 miles an hour, pedal assist level 3. Feels similar. Pedal assist level 4. Still in first gear. Still cruising around 8. Let's go into pedal assist level 5. And if I put a decent amount of effort in, I feel the motor giving me more power, but still only going about 9 miles an hour. And we know the motor is more capable on throttle alone. Let's go ahead and go into pedal assist level 6. And this would still be a significant workout, pedal assist level 6 in first gear. So more than likely, if you're on a hill like this, you're gonna wanna leverage that throttle. And then maybe you can shift up to a gear you're comfortable in and get a little bit more, get up the hill faster without putting too much effort in if you don't want to. All right, so that is how the bike performs. But let's get into some third-person riding footage. I'll give you the pros and cons of the Retrospec Abbot Rev. Believe it or not, $17.99 is currently the highest price for a Retrospec e-bike. For that price, you can get this commuter model, a fat tire option, or a moped-style e-bike. The prices surprisingly go down from there, starting at just $8.99. There are plenty of commuter e-bikes in this price range, but one thing stands out about this brand: their bike shop presence. Despite being available in bike shops, Retrospec still aims to keep prices relatively low. The company was started in 2009, which is comforting since it was before e-bikes became popular. According to the company, they have over 1,000 dealers, including those selling regular bikes, paddleboards, and other outdoor equipment. Hundreds of these dealers stock e-bikes, and all of them offer bike services. A quick search of my home state, Wisconsin, revealed dealers like REI, Shields, and even some Ace Hardware locations. Service can be a sticking point for many people looking to purchase e-bikes, so it's great to see another brand with a sizable footprint across the US. If you have any experience with their service, help me and help others learn from your experience, positive or negative, in the comment section below. The bike itself has what we've come to expect from e-bikes closer to the $2,000 price point. A torque sensor, hydraulic disc brakes, a decent sized battery, Shimano components, a basic front fork, and a motor sufficient for most use cases. The standout features of this e-bike is the inclusion of a torque sensor, which seems to be where the industry is heading. This sensor is tuned for those who don't want to exert a significant amount of power to get more power from the motor. As seen in the first-person riding footage, the speed limiting in the pedal assist levels was a different experience compared to most torque sensor e-bikes, but it kind of makes sense because it's not hard to get power from the motor, and riders could easily reach speeds that may exceed what they feel comfortable with if it wasn't limited. The extra long rear rack is unique too, and I always appreciate having a Thule window on the rear for child transportation. You could also add tons of cargo on the rear, and with the extra space, it's easier to do so. Additionally, there are 2 size options and a high step or step through. Note that some commuter e-bikes have adjustable stems and swept back handlebars, so consider what you might prefer. I don't often talk about looks, but this green color received a lot of compliments during testing. I also liked that the bike was fully UL certified and easy to switch between Class 2 and Class 3 modes. If you're thinking of picking up a Retrospec e-bike, check out the link in the description to support our channel for free. While you're there, look at the entire lineup and let us know which model you'd like us to review next. Overall, the Abbot Rev is well spec'd compared to the competition at this price point and has the bonus of dealers throughout the US. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.